Hey folks, Tark Pertu, co-founder of Uncubed here. As you might notice, I actually shaved. It's because I rarely do video appearances, but now I'm doing one so I can bring you great tips to maximize your experience at the upcoming Uncubed conference. This video is different from a logistics video that we made to make sure that you show up on time, basically. This is to make sure you interact with folks in the best manner. To start, however, for those of you that are watching that actually have videos on our uncubed.com platform, we will be promoting those very heavily to the attendees in advance of the event. So for anyone that is on video that cares to come to the event, it's a good idea because they'll have an opportunity to interact with attendees directly. So I'm sure you have a whole lot of questions about the upcoming event, like whether or not there's Wi-Fi, can you bring food, can you bring fire? You can't. Anyway, all those questions are answered with a series of emails that Jessica from our team is sending you. Please make sure you're reading them or at least browsing them. And most importantly, anyone that's coming to the conference, please forward these emails to them. We want to make sure there's not a disconnect between whoever shows up and whoever's actually reading the emails. So you might be asking yourself, how do I make sure I'm interacting with the right people at the event? Well, probably the most important thing I can share with you is that everybody technically is the right person, because at the very least, you can turn someone into a brand ambassador, and at the very best, you can hire someone, of course. That said, I'm sure you do want to optimize your actual day of interactions, considering you can only speak to so many. Bring an engineer if you're hiring for engineers. Obviously, bring business development people if you're hiring for business development. And the best way to handle that at the event is when you're interacting with people, the recruiters can interact with people first and then direct them to the most relevant individual after that. Hopefully you're asking yourself, should I ever leave my booth? The answer is yes, with a little area of gray. If you're the only one there, of course the answer is no, but if you have more than one person, preferably, like we suggest 5, that gives you an opportunity to have some people walking the floor and interacting with more experienced talent, and then making sure that at all times you have someone representing your company at the booth. So one pro tip is actually showcasing the jobs that you're hiring for at the event. Bring a whiteboard, bring a chalkboard, bring a monitor, showcase it on the monitor. It just makes for a natural engagement with the attendee. It makes it easier for them to approach you and make sure that the right people are opting into those conversations. If you can do it, do it. Separately, we do have a job board specifically for NYC Uncubed companies. And if you're a greenhouse partner and you give us your API key, we're going to be featuring all of your jobs on this job board and sharing it with all the attendees in advance of the event and showcasing it in our application and hiring lounge at the conference, where we're going to be encouraging people to apply to companies they love right from this lounge. So oftentimes events are really about the little opportunities. If you're having someone speak at the event, which is obviously a major opportunity to have a fixed audience for an extended period of time, please make sure your speaker mentions the job opportunities the company has. That is often a missed opportunity and a great way to make sure the audience knows exactly what the company's looking for. Do you have a creative idea that you think might need more space? Please let myself or Jessica know as soon as possible. We can make it happen. More space essentially means you have more room to be creative. We've had dunk tanks in the past, we've had a skate ramp. You can bring animals if you'd like, you can have a huge selection of food and drink. Having more space means that you're gonna have more room for creativity, and which of course is what engages the attendees at the event. It also gives you an opportunity to chat with a number of people at once and not just having one-on-one conversations. We actually have a VR lounge at this event. We're gonna have some companies showcasing their office in a 360 environment. So if you've got 360 video of your office, let us know, we'll get you in the VR lounge as well. You might be asking yourself, how much swag should you bring at the event? The general rule of thumb is 1/3 of overall attendees. So if we have 1,000, bring about 300 or 350. If you're sponsoring the event or you have an upgraded space, bring closer to 50%, so about 500. So how many reps should you bring? We recommend 5. Means you're probably gonna speak with about half of all attendees, which is a great number. And it gives you an opportunity to keep people at your booth and then other folks walking the floor and interacting with the more experienced folks. Unfortunately, we do not allow swaps for a couple of really good reasons. 1, it very much jams up registration. And 2, oftentimes your booth is so crowded that the person runs to swap with you, ends up not leaving, and that's unfair for companies that did pay for the extra rep tickets. So you might also be asking yourself, should I stay until the end? Please do. It's not the longest event. It is tiring because you're gonna meet with so many people, but it's 4.5 hours, and so many great people show up at the very end because they're leaving work. So that 30 minutes where you think you can jump out a little early, that's 30 minutes you might be sacrificing an amazing interaction with someone that could be working for your team. I really hope these tips are helpful to you and leads to a better experience at the upcoming conference. And if it does, and you have a better branding experience and you hire, I know you'll be happy and you'll come back and work with us again. And that makes everyone here at Uncubed very happy. Thank you and goodbye.